Carroll County prosecutor made a bold statement to the judge. He said, "We believe Richard Allen is not the only actor involved in this." And he told Judge Francis Gall that for that reason, the probable cause affidavit should remain secret to help investigators in what he called a very ongoing investigation. He also claimed releasing court documents now would endanger the safety and privacy of witnesses and lead to chaos. Allen's attorneys told the judge that is pure speculation not supported by facts, and keeping court documents secret is what could lead to chaos. Any secrecy involved in the case has simply heightened public interest, said defense attorney Brad Rosie. By continuing that pattern, we are just perpetuating the problem.
Prosecutor backing up his ask with a letter from Libby German's family asking for sensitive information to remain private and a gag order. This motion would bar, quote, parties, counsel, law enforcement officials, court personnel, coroner, and family members from releasing information or extrajudicial statements to the public.
If you read the probable cause affidavit,
Allen's defense attorneys who've read the sealed documents learned about the possible second suspect for the first time in court.
It does not mention anything about any other person. That was news to us.
Prosecutor did submit a version of the PC to be reviewed by Special Judge Fran Gohl with the names of witnesses and people involved redacted. Of course, Judge Gohl said she will review both sides of the argument and come up with an answer here.
That decision came as no surprise to Libby German's grandmother.
It's what was expected.
As she left the courthouse, Abby Williams' mother did not want to talk.
No, thank you.
And soon, the victims' families, Richard Allen's family, law enforcement, attorneys, and everyone else involved in the case may be prohibited from talking about the case at all. The prosecutor has asked the judge for a gag order to limit information and public statements that could make it harder to find an unbiased jury.
I spoke with Margaret Christensen. She represents the Indiana Broadcasters Association. That group is also pushing for the release of court records.
Of most concern to us is the idea that the media is simply after sound bites. To the extent there's a concern that reporting in this case is sensational and not deep, that's really occasioned by the fact that there's not full information given to the media in the first place. I take umbrage at the idea that the media is only after sound bites. The media is the surrogate to the public in its effort to ensure the legitimacy of criminal trials. So if the media is trying to talk to witnesses and figure out what's going on, the media is just doing its job.
I'm not sure why they didn't want the probable cause affidavit. I mean, he made his arguments, I guess, and I'll take him for his word that, you know, the prosecutor's trying to protect people, and I respect that. The second person, the investigation is continuing to go on. Again, that is something new. I'll take the prosecutor at his word that those are the reasons why. You know, when I say flimsy, what I'm talking about, I'm a defense attorney that's handled, I don't know how many murder cases over the years. I've got many pending right now. You expect more than what we saw. We're not impressed with it. Maybe they're holding things back that might change my mind later on, and I might have a different opinion. But at this moment in time, you guys are going to be reading it soon if the judge grants our request or denies the state's request, and then you'll form your own opinions as well.
Wrong guy?
Our client's the wrong guy.
Has your client, Richard Allen, said this has impacted him and or his family?
Obviously, this has impacted Richard and his family tremendously. I mean, his wife is just a wonderful person, and she loves her husband. They've been married for over 30 years. They were basically high school sweethearts. They love each other, and she fully supports him. Rick is bewildered. He's confused. He has no idea why this is going on. How can an innocent man be accused of a crime like this and have their life upended?
Allen's attorney went on to say that his client is innocent and looked him in the eyes and said, quote, "I am innocent. Thank you for helping me."
I think it's pretty obvious. We want the public to see it. I think it's very lean in terms of facts and evidence.
His attorneys called the PC detailing the evidence against Allen boring, flimsy, and disappointing for a 5-year investigation.
It may be weird for defense lawyers, I suppose, to be arguing that we want things unsealed, but that's how confident we are in our client. That's how confident we are that the evidence contained in at least what's written in the probable cause affidavit is nothing for us to worry about.
They also hope releasing the documents will cause more tips to come in, proving Allen's innocence.
We're getting a lot of calls from a lot of people that don't believe that Rick is the guy.
This defense, I think, also is doing a really good job, maybe shifting the public's view as well. In other words, if the judge says no bail, or $100 million bail or what have you, we'll know that the evidence is pretty sound. Again, if the judge has a lower bail or grants him a release via ankle bracelet or his own recognizance, that will say even more about the strength of the probable cause that's present. So a lot will depend on the judge's actual ruling.
The prosecutor presenting several exhibits for his argument to keep the probable cause affidavit sealed, including a Change.org petition with more than 41,000 signatures in support of the move, and a letter from Libby German's grandmother, Becky Patty, who said she did not want sensitive information in the investigation released to the public.
Could this be someone who is intimately involved with the family? Could this have been someone who was actively chasing young people on the internet outside of the defendant? Could this have been, again, a conspiracy? We just don't know, but I think it would be amiss to think that this is actually a small story.
Keeping the charging documents sealed is a move unusual in a murder investigation.
This is going to, I think, explode into something much bigger, which is, again, why it's so tepid right now.
And there is no timeline as to when the judge in this case will decide whether that redacted document will be unsealed and released at a future time. Police Superintendent Doug Carter, one of the key investigators in this case since the very beginning, has said he believes the investigation would not be compromised if the probable cause affidavit was unsealed. Nicole.
And that last comment there was from Abby's mom, Anna Williams. She did not want to speak with reporters. Libby's sister, Kelsey, was also there. She did not speak with us today, but she tweeted, "I feel your love and support today and always."